Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fine. It's snowing out here in Casco, Maine.
I know.
And Lisa is a friend of ours who comes to Migis Lodge a couple times a week in the summer and is part of our wellness program. We, as most of you know, we are a full American plan resort hotel on Sebago Lake, and all our rates include all the meals and all the activities. So many people choose to participate in lots of activities, and many people decide that the best activity at all is just to sit in a chair and read a book, and we welcome all comers. Lisa comes a couple of times a week and does lead some exercise classes at Migis, and we're going to hear more about Lisa and what she does and what she brings to the experience and what she likes about it. So, Lisa, how long have you been doing this? Do you remember?
At Migis?
Right, yeah.
I want to say this is probably going to be our 4th or 5th year.
Yeah.
It seems like it anyway.
Yeah,
at least
quite
3
some
years.
time.
At least 3 years, yeah.
And had you been to the property before you started doing this? Did you?
I had been around the lake. Our family has, my husband's family has a cottage directly across the lake, so I'm familiar with Sebago, and I've flown over it with my mother and lived in the area for a while, but I had not been down to the actual property before.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a hidden gem back there, we think, anyway. And how often do you do what it is you do there, and what is it?
Well, for me at Migis, I teach 2 times a week. I teach on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and it's been different every year. One year we were doing Zumba on one day, and we were doing Pilates on another day, and the numbers change from year to year, but mostly they change from week to week with the personalities and the families that visit the lodge, and they're so wonderful, from huge, your huge families to your small families, and so that piece of it changes week to week, and of course with the seasonality. But with what I teach, I just find that all walks of life come to the class, either people who have never tried a class before. So there were times when I would have an avid Zumba person come to my class, and they already knew every step of every song that I could even conceive of, or they were doing it before me. And there were other people where it was their first introduction, and they left class saying, "Oh, I'm going to go home and I'm going to seek out a Zumba instructor in my hometown and see what I can find." This was really fun. We are sitting here in your business. You're quite an entrepreneur here in Casco, I know very well, and I'm pleased to be your neighbor. What is your business when you're not at Migis Lodge? When I'm not at Migis in the summertime, in the winter, my absolute passion is teaching kids karate. And I was fortunate enough that more than a few years ago, I bought BKD Fitness Center from actually another one of your instructors, Beth Bilot, and we have the great fortune to run a karate school and a fitness center. And we have all kinds of equipment, as well as amazing classes that we teach on a day-to-day basis. And one of the things that I think I get to share with the Migis folks in the summertime is that small town, home, entrepreneur, real spirit of somebody who runs a business that's seasonal in nature. It's different in the winter, it's different in the summer. I go off and I do things like be at a resort in the summer where I'm just hunkered down in the winter, teaching here, teaching at the schools and things like that. So those are sort of my passions, but also I'm the luckiest girl in the world. I have such a great job that it's versatile and it changes throughout the year.
Lisa, do you have any particular piece of equipment? You know what I just thought of was like a hula hoop. Is there any particular thing that you carry with you when you get in your car to come over and do your thing that is part of your essential makeup when you do what you do, when you offer what you offer, that you really wouldn't want to leave home without?
I don't think it's any one thing as far as a piece, something that I bring with me, something separate from myself. I think it's, when you get there, it's the body. Mm-hmm. Fitness is all about the body and how it moves and how it can get stronger and more flexible. And so I bring my smile. and I always, no matter what class I teach, I always look around to see, well, who's here and what do they need? And we start there. And if it's a group of people who have trouble sitting on the ground, then we're not going to sit on the ground. And if it's a group of people that they are fitness nuts and they want to go 110%, then we're going to be doing squat hops as high as we can to really get a great workout. So I think every body is different, and I think everybody has the ability to have a great experience.
You know, you made me think of another question. You mentioned women, an early morning group of women that come here to your facility. Do you see men also at Migis coming to your?
I do, and I'm always impressed. I'm very impressed by that, to be honest. Some men will try it for the first time. Some men are already avid Pilates or yoga enthusiasts. I think that many of the people that come to Migis already have a wonderful vision of health and wellness and what it takes to stay flexible and stay young. And so I think that they bring that with them, and they enjoy the outdoor classroom.
Yeah,
I mean, really.
Yeah,
There's
so
nowhere
beautiful.
more beautiful.
There really isn't. And of course, it makes me think of kids. Can kids be incorporated into this, or do they just kind of hang on the sidelines?
Absolutely. The kids come over, but I think probably more often than not, the moms and dads are doing Pilates and they look off and they're watching their kids, water skiing for the first time, and they get a little distracted and they watch and then they come back. So I think that's one of the neat things about the location.
It is a neat thing. There's a lot of first-time events there, and we really treasure that. One of my favorite questions the last couple of years has been, do you have a favorite place, a favorite location at Migis Lodge? A place to sit, or a place to look, or a view, or something? As a person who comes in a couple times a week and then goes after a couple of hours.
Well, I think although I haven't been in every nook and cranny at Migis, I think how many people get to teach a class in front of Sebago Lake? But we have a little bit of a unique view of it because we lay down on the ground, so I see the flowers from their underside. And I think that just being immersed within the flowers, and we're right there in the corner, and so at certain times of year, especially when all the flowers are in their fullest bloom, I have the greatest appreciation for the talented people who put those flowers out there, and the colors, and how they last. And so I think that just being underneath the flowers is my favorite place to be.
Oh, that's a great answer. Thank you so much. And I'll be sure and pass that along to the people who do that. Primarily, the woman's name is Willow now, appropriately enough. And Lisa, I thank you very much for your time today, and I look forward to working with you this summer again. And thanks very much for contributing to our guest experience at Migis Lodge.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.